your boy Pastor Herb with the TSU Wesley Foundation. I want to invite you to watch Word with Wesley with us every Sunday at noon.
Ways you've made, so many times you've healed me.
Better than good to me.
Better than good
So many
to me.
doors.
So many doors you've
So
opened.
many ways.
So many ways
So
you made.
we did like a little paint night, and then we just talked, and people were just being themselves. They wasn't trying to be fake or act like somebody else. It was just genuine. It just, the vibe there was just genuine.
I just want to invite you to our YouTube channel. Check us out on YouTube at the TSU Wesley Foundation. That's Texas Southern Wesley Foundation, where we always bring the word. It's your boy Pastor Herb.
Hey, sound yours truly, Memphis 10 right here on Blessed Beats. Up next is Jesse Mitchell with Goodbye to Yesterday right here on Blessed Beats.
If you've ever felt betrayed, abandoned, stuck in place, I got good news for you, God's people. This is for you. Come on. Yeah, now I can say, yeah, come on, I say, no more holding me back, I say, come on, verse 2.
You attacked my health, you attacked my mind, but what Jesus gives me peace in times of great despair. His word I declare, and it changed the mood in the atmosphere. I will not fail, I will not fall. Blood on His word
Yeah, come on.
makes the future light, and the strength
Two parts. Yeah, come on. Now I can say, no more holding me back. I say, I'm waving. Yeah, come on. Feels so good, don't you know? Come on, God's people. Break it down, let them know.
finally on my way on this sea of life.
Come on, fellas, let me hear you.
Hold me close in your arms as we sail through this haze. All this fog, all this rain.
Come on,
all
where my
this
ladies
hurt,
at?
all
Ladies,
this pain.
come on.
But I know you will guide this ship so I'm safe. But these waves are large, so I'm losing faith. Say goodbye to the
Say goodbye now,
you won't stop me from moving
never again. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. We say
This is Word with Wesley, where we always bring the word. I am Pastor Herb, and I have a few students from the glorious TSU. They are here with me, and this is the first day of school. And I'm going to go around the table and allow them to introduce themselves.
Hello, hey guys, I'm Lex and I'm a freshman.
Pharaoh Mouton and I'm a senior.
My name is Armani McNeil and I am a junior and I am a member of the one and only finance sorority, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
My name is Kiana Fisher. I'm a senior as well, and I'm also a member of the illustrious Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
So first of all, let me give a shout out to the Zetas. They have showed up in a major way for me here at Wesley. Let me say I appreciate y'all. Your sisters came and donated canned goods that you all raised to help the homeless and all kind of just showing up to the events and everything. I just want to say you guys are awesome to me. And invite all your sisters. We love to meet them all. I love to meet them all. I can't take all of y'all to lunch, but lunch on me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say. So I brought you all to here today. We discuss real topics here on Word with Wesley, and I have a few questions for you all today. But I just want to ask, how has the first day of school been?
My first day had been chill. I had some online classes. I had like one in person, but everything's been good. It's just been hot. It's been real hot today.
I mean, the first day, the first day is always just real chill. It can't really like get too hectic unless you like dealing with some stuff with financial aid, how that office is. But other than that, everything is real chill. Syllabus day, you basically just meet new people, just trying to see who you have in class with. It's super hot, like she said. So today was, I wouldn't say it was just the most eventful day to wake up this morning, but it's not, it wasn't too much going on.
Yeah, I would say the same. It's been real chill today, except for the weather. The weather has not been chill. But today has been really chill. I only had one class today, so I'm done for the day. But I'm excited for the school year.
Wonderful.
It's hot.
Right.
It is yeah. But like I only had 2 classes today. It was back to back.
Right.
So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, again, I want to thank y'all for coming on the podcast. And especially after the barbecue, I just asked y'all to come one day. We had a back to school barbecue and blessing last night, and the Zetas came out in rare fashion as they always do, and agreed to do the podcast today. So that's a blessing. And let me say this because I don't want to sit here like I don't know this young man's family that's here, and I'm gonna give him words like they do in church. They always say, "Do you want to have words?" I grew up going to his mother's church. His mother was my pastor, and just to see this young man grow in all the talents and graces that he had, and his dad was one of my best friends. So that just tells you the history. And let me just say, I want to say I'm proud to see you going to college, taking care of your business, and also living your dream and just doing what you want to do on your own terms. And that's what I think life is. Because I'm going to tell you, I did my thing back in the day.
Okay.
So, to see the youngsters take care of their business and be you, you know what I mean? That's the one thing I can say about your mother as a preacher. She let me be me. We used to be coming to church high and everything. And she ain't, smashed the gas on us, like that. And I am saved today because they allowed me to be me in church. You know what I mean? And I say all that to say that if you are saved or if you're in the church, you should have some type of balance. And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about a wake-up call, and we want to talk about balance, how to balance your life as a college student, how to balance your social life, your church life, all that. How did you do that? My first question is this: what was your wake up call like? You know, I know it happens to most students. You know, even it could be in high school, because I know you are a freshman, and so maybe it was some times in high school where you was like, man, I better get it together, because if I don't, I'm gonna be left behind. And I'm gonna tell you, for me, the worst thing ever. I was in the 12th grade, and I got caught selling weed at North Shore High School, and I got kicked out of school.
I know sure.
I went to the best school in H-Town, Texas.
Most definitely is.
Definitely North Shore High School.
Eastside.
Eastside, Texas. You know, when I got caught, you know, I was making money, so I wasn't really even thinking about going back to school. So they had sent me off the ACE, you know, and I was supposed to finish and all of that. But I just decided that I wasn't going back. But the messed up thing about that was I was cool, because all my friends, they were still in school, and I was out here making this money doing my thing, you know, so I was laughing at them. But when they started graduating and when they started going to college, I would be lying telling you I didn't feel some kind of way. You know, I didn't even want to go to their graduation parties, because guess what? I wasn't graduating. So deep down on the inside, I was hurting, pain. You know what I mean? I look good because I'm piece and chain, diamond ring goes in my mouth, I'm living it up, right? But on the inside, I was hurting. So tell me, what was your wake-up call at any point in your life? We can talk about that.
Let me see. I don't think about it. I guess like for college, my wake up call was like I'm a very I procrastinate a lot. So I wasn't really ready. Like I got ready for college to move in like the last day. Like I think we had to move in Sunday, and the day before, like I had nothing ready because I was still hanging with my friends, you know, trying to like, you know, reminisce and get all the memories done. Because I wasn't really ready to move down to Houston yet. So I guess my wake up call was like when I was like, it's the last day. My mom like, we have nothing ready, like all my clothes everywhere. So I had to call my best friend and help me out and everything. It's like, it was crazy. I was up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I had to wake up at 4, like just to get down to Houston. It was crazy. And then I realized even when I got here, like I'm like, everybody left, everybody just, and I'm just stuck in my room, don't know nobody. It's like, it's crazy. I'm like, dang, I'm really in college now. Like even like, even like the first week, everybody was out having fun, partying, and like I didn't have no friends. I usually have friends. You know, I'm used to friends like, oh, let's go this place, go that way. They always invite me this place. But I didn't know nobody. I don't know nobody. So it's like, it's hard. Like, dang, now I'm in my room. Now I gotta make friends. Now I gotta balance. Now I got internships I gotta focus on. Now I gotta go to church. Now I got to study and everything. Like, and now I gotta balance my social life. Like. And it's so much, like I realized me being in my room, everybody partying, I'm like, and I'm just by myself. All my roommates out having fun, I'm just like by myself. I'm like, dang, I gotta actually get used to this college stuff. Like I'm not ready. It's like, okay. So that's my wake up call. Like me being in my room, all my roommates out having fun. It's like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm balancing my work life, my college studies life, and partying at the same time and make new friends. Cause like I'm so used to all my other friends and having fun, so I gotta adjust to this college and be on my own, not depending on my parents. Like, I literally, the first day like of college, like I didn't eat nothing. I didn't know the time, I didn't know the times of dining. I was just eating snacks that I got in my room. It was like, I'm so used to depending on people. I'm so used to calling my friends, oh, let's just want to eat, you know, making sure I'm good. But it's like, I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared. I wasn't. So now I gotta adjust to everything. Get a counter with all the dining time and everything. So it's like, I guess this is my wake up call, you know, it's like, okay, now I gotta adjust. I gotta get used to this college life, being independent, you know.
Well, you know, let me say, you have some people here around this table now, and you know, y'all make sure y'all connect before you leave here. That's what it's really all about. One thing I like is the fact that you said church. You immediately got connected with the church, which allowed me to get connected with you, which allowed you to be here today and connect with these awesome people on this podcast. And let me say, you know, I can tell you from experience, these people around this table, awesome people. Just the spirit that they have and the time that we've been able to share just a moment. They have been awesome people. And the good thing about it is that's how we help each other. We gotta help each other. We all we got, you know what I mean? So if we don't help one another, then guess what? We're gonna be out there by ourselves. And here's the thing. You can always come by here if you miss lunch, if you miss something, you got my phone number. You can just hit me up. We got you. We'll take you out. We'll hang out with you, you know, whatever. That's what we're here for. You can stop by Wesley anytime, you know what I'm saying? So, wonderful. Wake up call.
My wake up call, I wasn't even ready. My wake up call for basically, the question is, what is your wake up call to get yourself together?
Yeah, what made you wake up? Like, you know, when you was in college and, you know, maybe you was partying, because I seen some of your parties look like you throw good parties. Oh! I'm just say that. I seen this one party in the backyard.
Yeah.
It looked like you throw good parties.
Huge. Okay.
So what was your wake up call?
My wake up call. Well, let me say this. I come from an ambitious people. Okay, and when I say that, I'm saying like as far as my family, I come from people that always strive for something. They had goals, really high goals, really high expectations. So I think. I would say there's already a lot of pressure going up in there because I'm not an only child, but me and my sister have a 20-year age gap.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like all attention is on me. She living her life. She got her own 2 kids. It's like, what you gonna do? You know.
Right.
So I think I kind of subconsciously already went into my mindset has been in that since I was a child. So it's like I'm the kid that's always running for president. I'm running for homecoming. I'm running for this. I gotta be in the school play. I gotta be the person speaking at the school this, and the third. So when I got to college, I would say I feel like, ooh, freedom. Like, what does this feel like? You know, it wasn't, because before that, I mean, it was church every day. There ain't nothing wrong with Jesus. Don't. But I think when your mom's a pastor, you see what I'm saying? I think you are around a little bit more than the regular person. Not just Sunday. It's not just Sundays for me.
No.
Bible studies every day, and morning, and evening, and sometimes 3 a.m. if you know the spirit is moving. You know, right. So when I went to college, I kind of was like free to experience other people because I think I had a mindset to it was like if you're not. Your thoughts ain't on Christ. You can't be my friend. So it's like I got to experience other people with different walks of life, and I come from a diverse high school. I went to North Shore. You see what I'm saying? So North Shore allowed me to see a lot of different people. So when I got to college and started hanging out with the party kids, and I was like, "Oh, I'm Mr. Popular now. I do this. I'm on everybody's Snapchat. Turn up Mr. Cloud." My grades dropped. You know, and I like to think of myself as an intelligent individual. So it's like for my grades to be that bad to where I get on academic probation, it's like, you see what I'm saying? And then when I went to school, I had the highest theater scholarship at the school. I lost that scholarship because my grades were not intact. Because you will lose your scholarship if you don't maintain at least, I think it's either 2.5 or 2.0 or higher. You see what I'm saying? I played that first semester, so your first semester, that's your lock-in. Yeah. You know, boom, it's already over. So I had to reevaluate some things, I had to retake all those courses. I did not have that scholarship. I had to just, I had to make it happen. So I think from then on, I said I need to learn how to balance my social life, my academic life, and my spiritual life, and my psychological life. You see what I'm saying? Because mental health is a really big thing,
yes,
especially for Black people. Yes. You see what I'm saying? We're Black, we're African American, we're young, and we're indefinite as to where our future is going. So we really have a lot of thoughts going on in our head as to, is college even really for me? Oh my gosh, is this friend for me? Oh my gosh, is this girlfriend, is this boyfriend for me? Oh my gosh, is this is that for me? You know, so it's a lot of things going on in your head. You're trying to find yourself outside of the little small space that you've been in your entire life. So you're 18, 19, 20, I would say all the way up to, some people don't find themselves till they're 35. You know, you see what I'm saying? So it's really, you just sitting there struggling with a lot of thoughts. You have to just I would say just stay in prayer, and just basically stay meditating on what your destiny is and what your purpose is. And that kind of just got me through all the way up to now. And I transferred. I knew that was not the place for me. I was originally at Stephen F. Austin. Cool school. I wouldn't say it's the most magnificent experience of my life. I met some great people. I'm still in contact with my friends from there. But I knew that I was in an environment that was not, helping the upheaval of my character. Like it wasn't that. So I said I need to most definitely make a change that location. You shouldn't let location be your adversary. If you're in a place that's not for you, you need to move. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll get mad. It's the devil. It's the devil. It's the devil. Sometimes it's not the devil. Sometimes it's just little small demons. That's just these ain't the actual entity. Sometimes it's just real small things you need to drift over and just find your flow. And so once I did that, got to TSU. And I was also looking for a sense of blackness. So I went to these diverse schools, these mixed schools. I went to those schools that was black and gave me black experience. And I was around black people. They had black conversations. And we ate black food, black cafeteria ladies. You see what I'm saying? I had black teachers. And I had black students that were also intelligent. Because it's like, when you go to those schools, it's only the white kids, the Asian kids, and the foreign kids that are the smart kids in the course. And it's like, no, I go here. I met some of the most intelligent people within my college tour ever. You see what I'm saying? So I think this school has helped me a lot. TSU has helped me a lot. It's given me so many opportunities. And I'm just grateful for that. I think my dip made me, strive higher. And that's basically where I'm at right now.
Well, let me say that I'm not knocking any other colleges or races or anything like that, but I do think it's important to have a black experience.
Right.
Yes.
As a black young man, there are some experiences that you will receive here that will help you versus going to a different type of college.
Right.
And I think that as black people, we need to start valuing our HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one thing that I want to say is I think it's so important for even athletes and singers and people of the arts, whatever you do, consider the HBCUs, because the reality of it is nobody gonna love you like y'all.
Right.
There will be people who love you. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody, all types of people, all walks of life. But I need to be around my people, and that's just real talk. And that's where the balance comes in. That you have to be able to be in any type of setting. So I can be in a setting with Caucasian people. I can be in a setting with Hispanic people. I can be in a setting with any type of person and be able to be successful. And I think if you can be successful and be at the top of your game around your own people and strive, and guess what? Find the balance. Because most people don't want to go to HBCUs because why? They party a lot. You gotta find that balance.
My turn. Okay, so me finding my balance was, let me backtrack. So, I started school, I ain't gonna say I started school, I've been school a long time. But when I first started school, I was kind of the same way. In high school, I didn't really have freedom, I guess. So when I got to college, my first semester, same thing. It was freedom for the first time. It was like, well, I can do this, and I was 5 hours away from home. I was like, oh, y'all finna do all this. And grades dropped like horrible, like same thing on academic probation. And I kind of felt like defeated because I was really excited to go to college. Like I've always been good in school, like my grades have always been high, but when I got there, having all that freedom, it was like, oh, I can go to parties, I can be out at this time, nobody know where I'm at, my parents don't know I'm out this time, I just wasn't used to it. So when I got that, it just took over everything else. I wasn't worried about, okay, I need to have this quiz in by this time. I just wasn't worried about nothing. So my grades dropped, I felt defeated, I didn't want to go to school no more. And then I got pregnant. So I had my first baby. I have 2 babies. I had my first baby in 2017, and yeah, that was, of course, the wake up call. Like I was like, okay, I got a kid. Like I can't be out here just not doing nothing. Like I have to be a great example as a mother, as a black woman, period. Like, you know, I need to like show her that you can be something, that you can do something. So she was my first wake up call. Well, she was the wake up call. And then, you know, I stayed, I was going to school pregnant after I had her. Then I got pregnant again, had another baby, 2019. Same thing. It was just like more motivation. It's like there was no point at any time that I felt like I couldn't do it. Because after I had them, it was like I could do anything. Because they were like my inspiration. Like I'm only 23, but it's like they drive me so much to just keep going and keep going till I can't no more. Like I might get my master's, I might get my doctorate, just because they just inspire me so much. So babies are blessings, like for real. Like the babies are blessings. So yeah, they were my wake up call, and they help me now each and every day. So yeah, that was my babies.
Well, let me just encourage you that everybody doesn't finish traditionally.
That's true.
When I told you about my story, and I got a GED when I was in prison, and then I got out and got my undergrad and did my master's, and now I'm in the doctorate program. So it don't matter how you start. It's all about how you finish. You know what I mean? Those wake-up calls, they do come to help us go up. Sometimes you gotta go down, just like you said. You go down to go up, and then you allow that down spot to motivate you to come up. When you in that low place, I remember your mama preaching a message about motivation, and she talked about how it was a low place. And when you in that low place, man, you really can't see your way out. But when you start climbing up, and you start doing little things, little by little, guess what happened? Before you know it, you see yourself achieving. So I didn't think I could. If you'd have told me 10 years ago I have a master's degree right now, I was like, man, well, gee, I was hustling. I didn't think about no school. But now look at me now. So I just want to encourage you to keep going. Do what you need to do. And keep that balance, because I see you right now. You balancing it. You finding ways to serve. You finding ways to be present. You finding ways to go to school, and you taking care of your kids. That is something to be proud of. Wake up call.
Okay, so mine's a little different. So I've been in college a long time too. My freshman year was 2014. So I came in and I was like dean's list, like, cause, well, let me backtrack, like mom did. I always was given freedom. Like my mom was always like, she trusted me. Like we had a strong bond. Me and mom, like, that's my best friend. So like I never felt like I couldn't tell her anything or I would have to hide anything from her. So like she trusted me. If I wanted to go somewhere, she never was like, no, I was never on lockdown. So when I came to college, it was like, I didn't have to go to all the parties because like I knew, like, you know, it wasn't, it really didn't make me or break me. So I was on dean's list my freshman year. I was on dean's list my sophomore year. It wasn't until my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer in my junior year. It's when like everything, like it basically like, took a turn for like the worst. And I remember I was doing good with it until the day like I walked in the house and my uncle was like shaving her head because like all of her hair was falling off. So she was just like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna just go bald. And it was like that moment, it was like, dang, it's real. Like it's really real right now. And so I just remember like just going into like the deepest like depression of my life. Like I didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to go to school. I really didn't care. Cause like I knew like if I lost my mama, like you might as well put me in the casket with it. Cause like that was it. Like me and my mom were thick as thieves. So that happened. And in the midst of that happening, my dad got diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. And it's like, dang, like my mom just now, you know, getting, like she going through her treatment, is getting a little better. She's cancer free now, so thank God. But then it's like, dang, I just got done with this, now I'm dealing with this. And it's crazy because I'm like my dad's youngest. Like I have 2 older sisters from my dad. They're like in their 40s and stuff like that. So like he leaned on me for a lot of stuff. And so then it's like, dang, now I'm dealing with you with this. Mama just got better. And now I'm just like back in the sunken place because I'm like, I don't want to do nothing else no more. Then after that, so that was 2016, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. 2017, my dad was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver. 2018, he gets a liver transplant. And it's just like, oh my goodness. It was just 3 years of just like, what in the world? Like, it was horrible, right? So he gets the liver transplant. It's up in the air because he's older in age. So the risk of him surviving a liver transplant is what we on edge for. So we just, at any moment, like any phone call I'm getting, I'm thinking it's the worst one, right? So to God be the glory, everybody's good. My dad, this is like his, I think the 3rd year from the liver transplant. My mom has been like 4 years removed from, she's cancer free and stuff like that, right? So all that's going on, I look at my academic transcript and it's just F. I literally went from all A's my first to like dean's list, going to the honor ceremony and things like that, to have you even been going to class? Yeah. So then 2018 comes around, the year I'm supposed to graduate, and all of my friends have graduated. And they did it in 4 years. Like literally every last one of my friends are graduating. They posted their graduation pictures. And now I'm even more like, you know what? I really don't want to be here. Like, let me just quit. Let me just find a job. Can I go work for the city or something? But it was when my granny said, she said it jokingly, but my little cousin was going into college. She was going into college in 2018. I was supposed to be coming out in 2018. And she said, don't let Kennedy beat you out. And when she said that, I was like, she right, bro. Like, I was really supposed to be done with college and things like that. And that was it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let my little cousin beat me out of college. Now we might be finishing together, but she ain't going to beat me. But yeah, that was it. And so now we'll both be graduating next spring. So, yeah, and that didn't just give me like, you know, motivation to just go to school. It actually got me motivated to be involved in school. And, you know, I would tell anybody, like a freshman like you, like just get involved, because I feel like maybe if I was involved in more things and had that like circle around me of different people to be like, oh yeah, so like class, just someone to talk to. And I feel like I probably would have pushed forward and, you know, maybe did better. But hey, it's not about, like I said, it's not about when you start, it's how you finish. And hey, that wasn't God's timing for me. God's timing for me was right now. So yeah.
You sound like a little preacher.
See,
I already said you done spit real fast. You know, let me just say, you know, I want to offer to you all. This is a safe haven right here at Wesley. You know, I wasn't able to go to a traditional college. You know, I went to Bill Haven University, which was in Katy at the time. They had a campus over there, and the thing about it is we were a community, and then most of the people were Christians, just by, you know, everybody just seemed to be on that path. And some of them were older, some of them were younger. It just depended on the cohort that was going through at that time. But we helped each other be successful. You know what I mean? And I believe that if you all come together, you can help each other be successful. And that's what my next question is about. My next question is, what advice would you give incoming freshmen like Lex? What would you give them? What kind of advice would you give them about balance and these wake-up calls? I want to start on this end. I'm the preacher.
Well, one thing I would say is, I know I said get involved, but don't overexpand yourself. Like, I know some people, you know, get into college and they want to do this and I want to do that and they have 5 different clubs, and it's like you're not even giving each club like your best. So what I would say is find one that fits you and like go hard for it. Like give it your all that you got. That way you're able to, you know, you don't have meetings all through the week. You have one meeting on one day, set time, and you still have, you know, time to, you know, get your studies in. 'Cause at the end of the day, that's the first things first. You come here to get a degree. Everything else look good on a resume, but you're coming here to get your degree, period. And yeah, that's what I would say, like, because the only way that, you hear a lot of people say that, oh, TSU this and TSU that, that's because they got involved in nothing.
Right.
So if you come to school and go home, of course, you're not making the best out of your experience. I would be bored too at my school if I just went to class and went home and I didn't stay for no events or get in anything, you know, get involved in nothing. But get you 1, 2 at the most things to get involved in and give them like all you can, as well as, you know, make sure that, you know, you get your studies, because that's what you come here first. You come here to get your degree. Everything else is extra. So that's definitely one thing I would say. And organization is key. If you don't do anything else today, just go ahead and get you a planner. You can go to the Dollar Tree and get you a little planner and just write everything out. Just because that's what I have to do. Because if my phone don't ring and tell me today is this, I won't know. Because I run around here like a chicken with my head cut off sometimes. So yeah, just stay organized and, you know, don't overexpand yourself because you're only one person. So yeah.
She really took what I was gonna say. No, because I was gonna say time management is kind of like the same thing. But yeah, because I realized if you make time for fun time and you make time for study time, it can happen. You know, you don't have to just come to college and be all school. Like, I'm not going out to any school. I'm not like, I mean, you can be like that, but I mean, college is still supposed to be a fun experience. So make time for fun, make time for studying, make time for your mental, for yourself. You know, you have to make certain times for certain things. And yes, I was just a planner, and seriously, like, I myself have a calendar and I write down like 3 weeks in advance everything I do, like for the month and everything, like this month and next month is already written down, because like I went longer, like I have a whole lot going on. So yeah, just plan everything out, make sure you stay on top of everything. If something is due Sunday 11:59, do it Wednesday. Get it already out the way. So by the time Sunday comes, you got that free time to do anything, something, you know, like, or do another assignment that's due 2 weeks later. You know, just stay ahead and stay on top. That's what I would say.
Use wisdom and discernment. No, I would say most definitely use wisdom and discernment. That's actually my answer. Listen to yourself, and just listen to what God is saying to you. Don't be stupid. I mean, I don't know how what other way. You kind of just before you make any step, walk with intention. So be intentional with everything that you do. So once you do that, everything else will start to align, you know, much better. Watch who you give attention to. Watch you, because even if you have good intention, the people that you give attention to will put you in detention. You see what I'm saying? So it really, you see what I'm saying? So it kind of like, you kind of gotta stay focused, because you have a lot of distractions. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of pretty things to look at, a whole bunch of pretty colors. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like the first time seeing a rainbow. It's like you're just really excited, you just want to jump in, but it's just like, you know, sometimes you jump into things and you'll get there and realize it's not even, you can hear me? And it's not even what you thought it was going to be. And that goes for organizations, friendships, relationships. Even when you visit in churches to see which one is you know, a best fit for you. Like I said earlier, you got to go with what flows with you, because we are all very complex people. You know, we are not simplistic. We each have various things about us that are you know, greater than others. You know, we're not a balanced people. I mean, the Constitution says we're all created equal, but you know the truth is we all are afforded equal, you know, access to God. But really and truly, when it comes down to the physical, we're all like it's all over the place. So you have to do what's best for you. You know, you need to understand. You know, like I said, back to equality. We're not fighting for equality. We fight for equity. So what that means is. If you already are in a space, so let me write that down because I think it's a lot of thoughts going on in my head. So with equality, it's like, okay, so if, let's say I'm thinking in my head, every child in here has gotten candy before, okay? And I'm a teacher. And so I say, if you get a question right, you know, you're gonna receive a piece of candy. So all the kids get the question right, and those kids get candy. Oh, if you didn't get the question right, you're not getting no candy. But really, what I should have been doing was giving even more candy to the children that didn't have the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? Because it would encourage them to move forward. You see what I'm saying? The people that already have the resources and the knowledge and the intelligence and the money and the finances to do this whole college thing are already walking into this with the upper hand. The kids that are suburban are walking into this killing it. Yes. Okay? The kids that are from the ghettos, from the hoods, is kind of like struggling because low key their high school teachers just kind of passed them because they just wanted to see a black kid graduate. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So they really don't have it. And so also, and unless you be in a sport, because it's like they really push you through, like go ahead, we just need you to play on Friday, you know? So it's like you get here, and a lot of those boys realize that everybody can't make it to the NFL. So like you have to have this education now. So it's like, because they never received that equity and they received that equality, I mean, you made it to the school, you here, so it's like, make something happen. And it's like, my whole life has been, you told me if I play ball good, it's like, I'm gonna go to the NFL, I'm gonna be rich, and I'm gonna have all these, you know, and I'm gonna have all these women, and it's like, it don't really work out like that. So it's like, what we need is equity, and you need to understand where you lack. Because once you realize where you lack an equity that you need, you can pursue that actively. You see what I'm saying? So that's my thing, equity over equality for yourself, rather than how somebody else perceives you. Because it's not about what this is. It's not about what they call you. It's what you answer to. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's really who you see yourself as. Really evaluate yourself. Figure out what parts of yourself are broken. Fix those parts. Because there's a lot of trauma we carry around as black people. You see what I'm saying? A lot of trauma. We have an inner child that needs to be fixed in all of us. You see what I'm saying? Middle child syndrome is real. Oldest child syndrome is real. Youngest child syndrome is real. You see what I'm saying? Foster child is real. Parents that didn't take care of their kids is real. Daddies that wasn't present, you know, that's real for the girls and for the boys. So it's a lot of stuff that we have to, you know, sit here and understand that we all are not coming into. We see each other, we all in the same classes, but we're not coming into this the same. You have to see, how am I coming into this? What can I bring to the table? What do I not have at the table? Because that's what you really need to be looking at. And what's in the kitchen that needs to go get. And so, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, let me just say, Trevor, you broke the mic. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to piggyback on what he said when he said something about moving with intention and being intentional. That's something you really need to do because these 4 years are setting you up for your career. So if you are intentional about everything you do and strategic about everything you do, if you're making sure you're the first person in class, if you're making sure that every time you walk out of your dorm and you step foot on the Tiger Walk, you are looking, you know, I'm not saying come to work, come to school with a 3-piece suit on, but if you're making that, you know, you're striving to, you know, dress professional, dress for success, and things like that. It could just start with you going to class on a Wednesday with a nice little, you know, pantsuit on. Somebody might see you on that Tiger Walk and be like, hey, I want to offer you an internship. That's how I got my internship. I was walking down the Tiger Walk. I was going to the MLK building. He didn't know we had presentation that I had to dress professional for, and he asked me did I think about anything in social work? I was like, yeah. And he gave me a $20 an hour internship to where I interned this summer. So it's like if you move with intention, those things are gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I think about being intentional. Just make sure everything you do has a purpose, and just know that these 4 years are setting you up for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
I'm gonna say real quick, if you keep pushing, you'll get there if you walk with that same intention. So us three, we're all in the same program. So we basically have every class together. So let me say this real quick. I met Zarmani with the baby in her hand and one in her belly.
Period.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? In class.
No, for real.
In class, for real. So I walked into class my first day, same day. This is about 2 years ago from today. I walk into class, she got this in a professor. So, you know, we have, I don't even want to say the organization. We have a professor that's in a certain sorority. Okay, and the professor told her she's not classy enough to be in that sorority. Okay, basically I feel like she was like basically being prejudiced towards her because she had a child, you know, or two, one and a half. You see what I'm saying? And what if she allowed that to really like break her spirit and be like, you know what? I suck. Like I got a kid on the way. I got a kid already. I'm so behind. I didn't flunk this class. I just transferred. I ain't got no credits. And you see what I'm saying? She got all this going on. You already got this professor, this illustrious professor who's like the queen of the campus, telling you that you ain't classy enough to ever be in her organization. And so and what's funny is if you
Okay, I remember. Okay.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
I
And what's funny is if you meet somebody, you wouldn't even think that she will be a part. But she said, you know what? I'm a pledge Zeta Phi Beta. So, and she ended up pledging a whole different organization. Is active in the organization. Loves her sisters. Historian of the organization. You see what I'm saying? Does all this. Still got her kids. And it's like, you said this about me. But I don't even want to take that path. I'll take another one. And I'll be better than that. You see what I'm saying? And it make you look, I don't even rock your colors. I wear blue. You see what I'm saying? Like it's totally different. And she's here to you know, testify about it, tell other people about it. Like, don't let nobody else tell you who you are, or your circumstance tell you who you are, or what it looks like right now. Because 2 years ago, it wasn't looking right. But today, the vision is a lot clearer. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Well, let me bring this back into focus, but I want to give you an opportunity to say, what is it that you have learned from these individuals today? I know you've heard a lot. This is like your third, fourth day on campus. What do you take away from all of this?
I guess focus, make sure I'm organized and balance everything, balance partying, balance my studies, balance interacting, make sure I network and everything, and make sure I'm like always ready and prepared. Make sure I, you know, like dress well and everything. Make sure I always have that intention, you know, that there's things like there's always options and everything. Like there's always like things available for me and everything, and I gotta stay ready. And like, you know, just make sure I'm on my grind and don't let like small little flaws or like things I go through bring me down and keep me down. I gotta make sure I still go towards my goal and make sure I focus on my goal of graduating and just, you know, stay social, interact, and I gotta get there.
Yeah, so I will say this. I preached a sermon Sunday called Broken, but I still have my pieces. You know, and the thing about it is, the main thing was, even everybody is broken. I talked about that. Some of us have been broken ever since we were a kid. And most people know what it was that broke them. And you still have your pieces, but they never go back to the maker to get fixed. They run into this person, they run into that person, they talking to this friend, talking to that friend, but they didn't make you. God made you. and he can put you back whole. Not a person, not the lady that's in the sorority trying to tell you can't be a part of this. You know, the one thing I like is God like to use broken people. My goodness, that's the good thing about God is you don't have to be clean already for him to use you. He went and found the disciples right where they was at. And God will come find you right where you at. And he will make you what he wants to make you. And I said that in the sermon. Stop letting people tell you who you are. Period. Because again, they didn't make you. At the end, I always bring in the focus of scripture. And the craziest part is that this scripture, y'all set the tone for this scripture. Ecclesiastes 3, it says, there's a time for everything, a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to heal and a time to kill, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. And I'll stop right there. All that indicates is balance. It's a time for everything. Maybe it wasn't your time to graduate when you thought you were supposed to graduate. Take a hold of the time that you have now. At one point you were in mourning because you were going through all kinds of stuff. That was your time for that. Let me tell you something. People need time to mourn because I know a lot of people, what happens is something happened in their life or they wanted somebody, they try to just get right back up and do whatever. But you need that downtime.
Of course.
You know, a time to mourn and a time to rejoice as well. A time to laugh, a time to dance. So in other words, I'm just trying to tell y'all this. Live your life while you're in college. First of all, my thing of what college was supposed to look like was a different world. And they looked like they was having a lot of fun. They made me want to go to college. Real talk. And you know what? It's going to be a time for you to be like me. Old and don't do too much. You know, I just chill nowadays. But I was like you. I don't want to say I had freedom because I just took the freedom. I stuck out and did everything I wanted to do when I was a young kid. And at the end of the day, by the time I got 20, I think the last time I went to a club, it was Tea Town. Y'all probably don't even know what Tea Town is. 2003 was the last time I went to a club. But even when I went to the club that time, it probably had been since 2000 since I had been. And I felt out of place when I went. Everybody hanging on the side of the wall, dudes trying to holler at chicks. I wasn't really trying to holler at no chicks. First of all, I ain't buying you no drink. I don't got no money. Whatever. Move on. That was the same way. It was just the same stuff going on. And I realized it was my time to change. I knew about the change. I knew the word. And most of y'all around this table, you know the word. You know where you're supposed to be. And you know, what I like to do as a pastor, and when I was a former youth pastor, I just like the kids to explore themselves. Like, find out who you really are. Because I had my time to be me. And guess what? Your parents had their time to do their thing too. Don't let them fool you. They was doing their own thing when they wanted to do their own thing. You know what I mean? So I think we have to give everybody a chance in their time to grow. Like, that's why I say I so much enjoy being at your mother's church, because she allowed me to grow as an individual. She seen me at my worst, she seen me at my best. And at the same time, they still prayed for me. And that's what you need to do for your friends. Because they gonna have some good times, you'll have some bad times with your friends. But at the end of the day, guess what? If it's a real friend, they gonna stick around and they gonna encourage you in the bad times, and they gonna encourage you in the good times. And that's how you get that balance And let me just say this, thank you all for coming on Word